Welcome to my YouTube channel, GraceLife, and if you're on Facebook, thank you for checking out my video. Um, it's in support of toxic relationship, unhealthy relationship, and as I always say, I do these videos to inspire, create a motivation in someone to pursue their relationship with God, to seek God on refuge, to seek God in advice and wisdom and counseling, because when you look to Him, your help will come from Him. And this video is about faith, acts of faith, prophetic acts of faith, stepping out and doing things in faith. And a lot of time we think about big moves and what can I do right now that, that going to require me to, invest a lot in. And I'm not saying it's wrong to think like that, but sometimes God is looking for a small act that you can do right now in the moment. And I want to share part of my testimony, because I didn't walk out the door with $5,000 in my bank account, or debt free. I didn't walk out my relationship easy, emotionally, physically, nor mentally. It was by the grace of God I was able to walk out, and God lined things up in place for me to make that move. So, sharing a piece of my testimony, a piece of my journey. I was in a relationship. It was, as I say, toxic. It was abusive. It was emotionally, verbal, and physical. All three elements and more of the cycle of abuse. So I knew that I heard God's voice that said, once I got out of the intimate danger, God voice came to me again and said, I need for you to move out the city, move out the town that you stay. And I'm like, really though? Because my job, I don't make that much. I'm in a time with my family, had a little bit of support, not that much, but familiar. And I'm like, if I move, I want to know anybody to where I'm going. And, just the resources. No, transparency. My light bill was high. I didn't even have the lights in my name in the house I stayed at. So my light bill was not in good credit. And I'm like, how? And I had the question, I had the concern, but I heard the voice of God said, move, and I'm not going to tell you again. Miss this opportunity to move, that we're going to be in disobedience. And to go a little bit back farther, years prior, I had heard the same voice, but I didn't know it was God telling me to move back. Then I heard it then, and I declined to move when I had proposition to move with family or relatives that were in out of this out of the town I currently stayed at that moment. I just declined to move. So now I'm out of the relationship, but I'm still fresh out. I'm still in hurt. I'm still in my emotion. I'm still trying to survive. I'm in survival mode. I'm still in survival mode. And I heard God, like I said, I heard the voice said, move. And didn't know where to go, really. I knew the area, but I didn't know the exact location. So God started to talk to me, and He would tell me, go to the internet, look up, certain counties, cities, research it. And then one day He highlighted this county to me, and I started doing my research, and it came up that it was a way for me to move, get an apartment up there, move. And also this county offered housing or help to women that been in abusive relationship with kids. So I applied, talked to the lady. The lady was like, well, the waiting list is like almost 2 years out. But I joined the waiting list anyway. I'm like, well, God, I did that part. So I'm still here. I'm still here trying, like God, what more? And so I went into the store, Walmart, and I heard God say, buy a moving box, just a simple little moving box, $1 or less. Took it back home, taped it up, shaped the box out. I put sheets in there, just sheets I wasn't using, but like bed sheets, random stuff and sheets. Put it in the box, and I stuck the scripture in there. I cannot recall the exact scripture I used, but it had to be probably along the lines of God will provide a way for me to move. And then I wrote moving box on the outside, and I wrote what the box contained, sheets. I did that probably, let's say, in the summertime. So it was probably like between May and June when I did that. And this is the truth. By August, I received spiritual confirmation that I was either going on vacation or moving, because the person said, I see you with luggage, or you going out of town. And I'm like, not that I know of. After that phone call, 2 to 3 weeks later, the people from the housing program of that county called me back and said, we have availability. Please, move forward and finish the application and put down your deposit, and you can move. The expectation is that you can move in the next couple of weeks. God opened the door for me that was shut by man. So I'm saying this to this woman, this person who is sitting there and don't know no way out. That say, well, I can't make big moves. I can't make no big moves. But God is not even looking for you to make a big move. He wants one small act of gesture. It can be a verbal declaration. It could be an act of, you know what, I'm gonna, like I did, pack up a box. I'm gonna put it in my wallet. I'm debt free. I'm gonna put it underneath my child pillow that my child is healed by his stripe. My child is obedient to the word and honor their parents. My family is whole. And you may do something where you have Sunday dinner every day, or you do game night. Whatever God tells you to do in a faithful act, prophetic act, to declare that I believe in what you promised me, move on it. Don't wait for somebody to come and supply you with what you need. Move on what you got now. Move on what you got now. And I don't have my book in front of me, but I remember the story of the woman at the well with Elijah. And I think the name either is Elijah or Elisha. Elijah or Elisha. Whereas it's Elijah. I don't mean to keep just stuttering through the moment, but Elijah. The woman at the well. The woman who only had a little bit of flour and oil, and she was going to basically do murder suicide. She was going to go back and just let her and her son starve out, because she said, this is all we have. And he said to her, if you share with me what you have, which were, I can only imagine, maybe, just enough for one more meal. But he said, if you share with me what you have, you will never run out again. The Bible go ahead and tell the story that, she seemed like she was, like, what? How so? How can this be? However, she trusted the man of God. And she shared what she had. And he, came and aborted her house and stayed there. And the Bible continued to say that this woman, for the rest of her days and for the rest of her child day, they had what they needed. God provided provisions. So I'm saying to you this, God will provide. God will provide what you need in that moment. Abraham and Isaac, when God said, go and sacrifice your child. Abraham was like, what? But he did it anyway. Got up, got the child prepared, didn't even tell the child where he was going. He like, look, don't worry about it. We finna go to the mountain. God will provide. Got to the mountain. God said, stop, don't sacrifice your son. But I have this lamb that you can take and sacrifice. Trust God. Think about it. Both situations are heart, terror. Where, you worry, one woman about on the verge of death, starvation, can't provide for her and her child. The other one is, I'm about to go and kill my child in the name of God, for his good, for his glory. But they did it. They did a prophetic act, and that allowed God to move. Because God was seeing their heart and what they were willing to risk for his glory. So I said to you, are you sitting there in worry, doubt, don't want to move because you don't know about tomorrow? And the scripture, reminds us, don't take thought of tomorrow. God will take care of you. So right now, if you need out of a situation that is not good for you, that's not safe for you, but you say, I don't have no money, I don't have this and that, I don't have a car, I don't have a house, I don't have support. What did God tell you to do in an act of faith? God could tell you go and encourage somebody else. God could be telling you, I need for you to go write it down in the journal and meditate on me. What is your prophetic act to say, God, I believe you and I trust that you will open the door for me. You will open the door of blessing. You will open the door of favor. You will make a way out of no way. Remember, look, look to the hill, because that's where your help come from. And that he's near the weak. He near those who he know that been burdened and oppressed. If you call out to him, he hear you and he will save and deliver you. But I truly want to encourage, motivate that woman, that child, that man that's in an unhealthy relationship, that can't find no way out, feel like they are afraid, it's a fog around them. Trust God to open that door for you and move in your favor. And I'm going to end the video right there. Like I always say, stay blessed, be encouraged, live by faith, walk in love, and grow in grace. Until we meet again.